Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's adventure brings me here to Fork Lake, just outside of Long Lake, New York, where I am about to load up my kayak and do something I haven't done in 5 years. I'm going kayak camping. Yeah, the video didn't skip there. I did kayak camping. So I was anticipating good weather, but who would have thought it was going to be 92 degrees at noon and it's going to get hotter in the afternoon. But the horseflies and the deer flies are out here to greet me, and I got to load up my kayak and head out. Let's go. Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. Well, we're all packed up and I did a pretty good job. You'll see next week's video the gear that I am, let me move over here behind this tree so maybe the wind won't interfere with the mic. But you'll see in next week's video the gear that I put into my kayak here, and how I loaded it. Because if you're going to do kayak camping, couple things you need to know: the capacity of your boat, how much you weigh, and how much all the gear you're bringing weighs. And then you got to pack it evenly so you're not nose heavy or rear heavy. And if you look at the water today, you can already hear the wind in the microphone, but there's some good chop today. I have never been on this lake where there hasn't been chop. And the thing that really sucks about this lake, if you're either boat, canoe, or kayak, is that there are some rocks just underneath the surface, and with the chop like this, they can really be hidden. But yeah, this is my site right here. I have a bear box over there, picnic table there. I just got to figure out where I'm going to set things up and go from there. Alright, well, behind me is my site. I have it all set up. I got my tent set up. I got my supplies out. Yeah, so this is my site at Fork Lake. This is the view from my site right here. Yeah, look at that. There's some people over this way. I see a tent over on the island way over this way. But there's a site over here. I don't see anyone on that one. So yeah, this is, I'll be here for a bit. And when I made plans for this trip, I've been up here before. I did a video of paddling Fork Lake here a few years back, but I've stayed up here before, and I want to say my site was over around that bend over there. And that was quite a time ago when I was over there. But I do remember that the breeze on this lake was pretty consistent. And so this site behind me is the site I stopped at in that video I did a few years ago. I stopped here and I think I had lunch here, and then checked out the site, and I checked out some sites over here. And the reason why I picked this one was because of that breeze off the lake. I wasn't anticipating using the breeze as during our heat wave here. I was anticipating to use the breeze to keep the black flies, the Adirondacks black flies, away. And if you can't guess, I'm sitting in the water here because it is 95 degrees. We are in a heat wave. We have been for the last couple of days. When I left this morning, it was already 87, I think it was. And now this is probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm all set up. and it's got to be 90 something degrees. So that's why I'm sitting in the water, cool, kind of keeping cool. I did bring more water than I anticipated, just because of the heat wave. So this would be day 3 of the heat wave. And the other night we had a massive storm roll through, caused a lot of trees down, a lot of power lines down, and heavy rains. And so we did have some damage to culverts and some damage to power poles, but they are anticipating another storm like that within the next 24 hours. Now I'm hoping it's not going to be tonight. I set my tent up back there. I never put the rain fly on it because I think the ventilation, is the breeze coming off the lake, is going to help me sleep tonight. Yeah, I haven't done this in years, and last year I just got the ambition to, hey, let's go kayak camping again. So over the winter I started exploring a few sites and seeing where I could go, and Fork Lake was the one that I landed on. And I do have to get my butt up out of the water here and go cut some firewood for tonight. But yeah, after I got set up, I said, oh, I'm going to sit in the water for a little bit. I don't know what the real feel is though. If it is 95 is the real feel, or if it's closer to 100 or a little less. But I'm going to say it is about 95, the real feel. But it's this breeze though, it's nice. I'll tell you, one of the things that I switched out, I used to have one of those bow saws that you could fold out and had the blade, and I had that for many years, but what I didn't like about it was when you're getting going sawing in that rhythm, you'd catch something and the blade would either bend or snap. And since then I bought this. I've had this now on my last few outings. I can't tell you who makes it because it's already worn away. But this thing here is pretty goddamn handy. I'll tell you what, it does, I'm doing wood, and it has done a good job for me. Alright folks, well, it is getting to be sundown here at Fork Lake. And earlier, I showed you my tent, and a few of you were pretty observant in a video I did last year, where you saw the tent. This is a $14 Amazon tent. I decided to bring this tent instead of my hammock tent because if you do look around, you'll see that there isn't very many trees that I could get into. Maybe over there where my clothesline is. But other than that, this is my accommodations for the night. Old school again. And that's one change I made. The other change is I used to have a little chair that I brought with me, and it's heavy, and so I decided to upgrade, and I bought this chair here, another Amazon special. I think this chair was $14, $15 for this. So, and the other thing I did end up bringing was my little table here. This is the first trip for that table. I bought it over the winter just because the last few times I went kayak camping, it seemed like where I set my chair, I didn't have a table that I could sit next to the chair. I kept using the ground and tipping things over. But it is a spectacular day here in the Adirondacks, one that is high on the heat. It's about 7:30 at night. I'm going to be making my dinner over here, which would shelf the table. And it's still about 2 degrees. So I did have, and they're still in my truck, I had thermals that I was going to bring. And because of my experience in here in the Adirondacks has been one where it could be 88 degrees during the day, 38 degrees at night. So I don't think I'm going to need my thermals tonight. The weatherman was saying that the low tonight is possibly going to be right around 71 degrees, but we'll see. So I got to get my dinner out of my bear container here, and tonight's dinner is going to be shelf to table, and let me get it out of my bag and I'll tell you what it's going to be. I'm thinking I might have had it before, but I'm not sure I ever did a video on it. The only thing that makes this bad up here right now is the fact that there's a lot of horse flies and deer flies. I mean, I have my Vicks on, and areas where I have the Vicks on, they are not coming after me. But I don't have any Vicks on my hands, so where are they going? After my hands. So it's chicken fried rice with bacon, egg, and vegetable is what I'm having tonight. Shelf to table. Well, let's see how it is. It passes. It passes. Got chunks of chicken in there. Excellent. Excellent. Kathy, you did all right on this one too. You did all right on this one too. But that's why I brought the little table, because I missed something sitting next to me. But I do have to say, this chair, I'm 255. And this was the chair I had out in the water earlier. So that was, it holds me. $14 or $15 Amazon special. I think the table was the most expensive thing. I actually think the table I paid 22 bucks for. I think. I can't remember. There, just washed the stink off me for the day. The sun is going down. The fishermen are all starting up their boats. They're all going out to fish. And now I'm going to get dried off and probably get my fire going. But it still has to be, I'm going to say 80 degrees. It is now about 11 o'clock at night. This is my site right here. I'm going to be going in the tent soon. The tent is right over here. Let me turn on my light. That is the tent. And as we come around, I have a old stump here that is serving as my light. And as we come around here, and as soon as I turn on the light, I can feel all the bugs. So I'm going to turn the light back off. But yeah, I'm going to see you. Unless something happens during the night, and I'm hoping it does, we don't get any bad weather, because I did not put the rain fly on my tent. The next update I give you, hopefully, will be in the morning. Well, good morning. It is just before 7 a.m. and this is what the site is like. 7 o'clock in the morning, we'll say. Look at that. Imagine waking up to that. as I did this morning. Yes, the tent worked well. My air mattress, not so well. It's old. It's kind of flat now. But yeah, get up and do some stretches. Get the back straightened out. But now I need to make some breakfast. And the one big thing I forgot my coffee mug. I'm really looking forward to a cup of coffee this morning. But still, just waking up to this. I think this is the calmest I've ever seen this lake. I don't remember it. The last time I stayed here, God, it was so long ago, I don't remember. Really, honest. But I do remember that breeze coming off this lake was pretty consistent. But it died down last night. So now I'm going to see if I can get my oatmeal going. Alright folks, you watched all the way through. Thanks for that. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. Continue to follow the adventure. And remember folks, tomorrow is no guarantee for any one of us. So disconnect from that Wi-Fi, connect to this out here. You won't be disappointed.